Let's hit the field.
It is Wednesday, May 21st, and the Yankees were taking on the Rangers in Game 2 of a 3-game set under the threat of rain. Good pitching matchup tonight. Jacob deGrom and Ryan Yarbrough went pitch for pitch, but the Yankees bullpen, not great once again. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
If anything calls for the fun hat, I guess that would be it. Well, the Martian earns his pinstripes. If the 3-home run game didn't do it, the Yankees win another series on the back of Jason Dominguez, who just hit the Yankees' first walk-off home run since September 20th of 2022. That was the Giancarlo Stanton Grand Slam against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And we'll probably get a little copyright thing for this, but there's no way that we're not going to watch this home run together. Actually, first, let me go ahead and say Dominguez hitting a home run was a Nostradamus prediction, so
That
destiny fulfilled. So as soon as the highlight becomes ready, I'll put it up and we can watch it together and relive that. Best case scenario for the Yankees tonight from Ryan Yarbrough. I don't want that to go overlooked. We're going to spotlight him. 5 innings of 1-run ball to match up with Jacob deGrom and really give us that kind of performance was phenomenal. Bullpen was bad again. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, we had Tim Hill serving up the home run. Ian Hamilton served up a home run. Ian Hamilton has a 6.14 ERA so far. Yerry De Los Santos gave up 3 hits and got 3 outs, but luckily Luke Weaver bailed him out there in the 9th inning. Nice job by Luke Weaver. And just a heads up, we are closing in on 67,000 subscribers. We're about 50 subscribers short, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Double check, even if you watch every night, that you are subscribed. Go ahead and hit that button, and hopefully soon we will be at 67,000, hopefully building towards 70 as the season goes on. Janice Hops says, best moment of the season so far. And, sir, I agree. That was great.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
We got a few super chats here that I want to get to. Ian says, Martian Walk-Off. Gives the ack. Mellow Yellow says, the Martian hits one to the moon. And the 610 Stig says ball was pissed on. That was a hanging slider. Yeah, that one was really hanging. And Raleigh with the director's chair says on set. Appreciate that, guys. Appreciate that. So let's just go back to the beginning. Fantastic play in the first inning from Ben Rice. First play of the game. Pop up in foul territory. And he went sliding on his knees, made the catch. Yankees put 2 runners on in the first inning. Bellinger extended his hitting streak to 15 games with a beautiful opposite field line drive single. But Dominguez, he had a bad at bat. He was up 3-0 in the count against Jacob deGrom. He swung at the 3-0 pitch and missed, and he ended up striking out. He swung at a couple of sliders that were down and in, and it was just honestly not a great at bat, but he would get redemption. Volpe tripled to lead off the second. He came in to score on a ground out, and that put the Yankees on the board. And then after that, the pitchers were just cruising until 2 outs in the 5th inning. Yarbrough served up a solo home run to Jake Berger, who had a good night. He hit 2 home runs. Adolis Garcia robbed DJ LeMahieu of an extra base hit. DJ's been hitting the ball really, really hard. I'm surprised with how well he's been swinging the bat. I mean, I know it hasn't added up to a ton of hits. He's only hitting 222, but he has hit the ball with authority, much more authority than last year. Berger hit another home run off of Tim Hill. Rangers got another home run off of Ian Hamilton from Haggerty. That one was a nuke into the second deck. Bellinger went deep to make it 3-2. Let's hear it for Belly. 15-game hit streak and 8 home runs.
Bellinger.
And look, Bellinger has impressed me so much over the last month. About a month ago, he was hitting under 180 or so. And then since then, he's been on fire. He's got a 15-game hitting streak. And, I mean, you can officially say that he's back. He's got an 810 OPS on the season. So what a comeback for Cody Bellinger. Hang on, I got to add something to the screen. Not to spoil, but we're adding the Jason Dominguez to the highlights. I didn't get a chance to add that. So pinch hit walk by Goldschmidt in the 8th inning. And good at bat by Grisham to get him to second base. I thought he looked really comfortable. He was taking some tough pitches, spitting on him. Boone elected to stay with Yerry De Los Santos. We got a couple of calls about that I will play for you later on in the show. But De Los Santos gave up a base hit to lead off the 9th inning, and you're thinking, oh, God, here we go. Another Boone blunder is going to cost us a game. But Weaver came in and got the job done and pitched pretty well. And he basically picked off a runner who was headed for second. And, they had to go to replay or whatever, but that was a nice move by Weaver. And then, of course, in the bottom of the 9th, Jason Dominguez with the walk-off home run. And the Yankees take Game 2 of the series.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
All right, so the Martian has officially landed. There's actually a lot of great belt candidates tonight. Yarbrough can't be overlooked. We will spot him with a little bit of an honorable mention in just a minute. Bellinger had a good night. He had a multi-hit game. Bellinger is now hitting .264 with an .805 OPS. He was 2 for 4 on the game. And that leaves Dominguez, who hit the Yankees' first walk-off home run in over 2 years. And I think that is belt-worthy. First walk-off home run of the kid's career, obviously. And he continues to be just really impressive. Really impressive. So, shout out to him. Just 22 years old. Obviously, a very bright future. We got some comments about maybe he should bat just left-handed. It's way too early to give up on hitting right-handed. He did hit that home run, and he shows he has the potential. He's hit some balls hard lately. And, I don't even think he had a right-handed at bat tonight, so I don't know why that comment. But, look, the fact that he's doing so well left-handed has kind of saved his numbers. If he even hits decent from the right side of the plate, his numbers are going to be ridiculous. If he hits .250 from the right side of the plate, that turns him into like a 300 hitter with like a 850, 900 OPS. So, unbelievable start for Dominguez. All right, let's get to the pitching spotlight.
Pitcher spotlight.
Ryan Yarbrough. During the pregame show, I said best case scenario for him would be 5 innings, 1 run, and that's exactly what he did. Almost 5 shutty if it wasn't for the Jake Berger home run. Mixing and matching, changing speeds. He got some silly swings, and he's evidence that you don't have to throw 100 miles an hour to have success. His velocity topped out today at 90.4, but he still had 14 whiffs and 8 strikeouts. That's like Carlos Rodon numbers, right? And Rodon makes 10 times as much and throws about 8 or 9 miles an hour harder. On average, he'll top out around 90, 97, 98 every game, and Yarbrough's around 89, 90. So it's just evidence that you can win by pitching. I love these crafty lefties. I just love watching them. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, 8 strikeouts, 81 pitches, 53 strikes. He's been another one of these guys that has been a sneaky Brian Cashman pickup. He makes about $2 million rather. And all he's done so far is give us really excellent versatility, and every time he starts, he gives us a decent start. So another really nice performance from him today. And speaking of the pitching, we got to talk about Gerrit Cole. There was a great article from Brendan Cuddy, in the Times. I think that's how you say his name. Brandon Cuddy, maybe? Anyway, he basically wrote what we all suspected, which is that Gerrit Cole has become the Yankees' de facto second pitching coach, and that he's working with Will Warren the same way that he worked with Luis Gil, and the way that he worked with Luis Gil obviously paid dividends right away because he was always a guy who struggled with command. He was a guy who, didn't really trust his stuff. He just had a great fastball and a really good slider, but he didn't necessarily know where it was coming from or where it was going. And then, the changeup, forget about it. Well, the changeup is a specialty of Matt Blake. And so he paired, Luis Gil with that. And Gerrit Cole gave him the fundamental push as a pitcher to learn how to become a pitcher. And we saw him just light it up last year. And, he learned to make adjustments throughout the year, the slider and so forth. And now we're seeing Will Warren kind of on the same trajectory, right? And I hope that Gerrit Cole stays in the organization, not only as a pitcher, but as a coach. I mean, he could be so valuable in building the next few aces. He's got 3 years left on his contract. I hope he doesn't take his act to Fox and start talking spin rate, with David Ortiz. I want him to stay within the organization and help the Yankees build a pitching factory, right? It's just a human capital management decision. You have got to keep this guy in the organization because he can really help you with the intellectual side of the game and help you build sustainable pitching year in and year out. All right, we're going to dive more into the Jason Dominguez home run real quick. We've got the highlights coming here, and I'll put them up as soon as they're ready. Here we go. We're going to just take a look. Let me share my screen. All right, so we're going to go in slow motion here. You can see this is a hanging slider, and it just gets right down the middle of the plate. Look where that pitch is. That is a center cut hanging slider. You could not throw a worse pitch than that in this situation. Take a look at it again. Bam. And there's a great follow through. The helicopter, no doubt about it. Let's see where it lands. I think he went in the second deck. Bam. I think that might be his first second deck home run with the Yankees. Let's watch it. We'll see that in an instant replay. One more time. Hanger, banger, goodbye. Love the reactions from the crowd. And the Yankees take game 2 of the series. Quick word from our friends with the Hall of Fame app, and then I'll be back with your reactions and a couple of voices. We have all seen it happen. Someone is one leg away from hitting a massive parlay. Thousands of dollars on the line, and then boom, an unexpected strikeout or garbage time bucket ruins everything. That's the pain of betting on gut feelings. But now there is a smarter way. The Hall of Fame app is built by lifelong fans who also happen to be Ivy League data nerds. It gives you a serious edge. Historical matchup data, leg correction tools, player performance insights, and real-time odds. No more guessing. With a 4.9 App Store rating and over 6,000 5-star reviews, Hall of Fame is already helping thousands of bettors win smarter and not just more often, but more strategically. Right now, our listeners get a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month when you use the code STRIPE. Download the Hall of Fame app on iOS or Android, enter the code STRIPE, and stop leaving money on the table. I got Frankie Baseball over here texting me that the Knicks are up 16. So first of all, that's good to hear. And I told him, don't text me while I'm live. I texted him. I said, don't text me while I'm live. And I'm seeing the 3 dots right now, which means there's a text getting ready to come through. It's like when Homer Simpson, it was like, it was, I forget what the joke, I blew it. I blew this joke, but it was like, oh man, I had a Homer Simpson reference in there somewhere. Oh well, I'll just be dumb tonight. All right, let's get some voicemails here. This one just came in. I haven't listened to it yet.
Hey there, Mary Beth here, and we recorded the Knicks, so I can't hear your post-game show. Yankees win the Martian. You're right. Yay! And now I got to go watch the Knicks because I know you're going to say something about the game. Bye.
I will, and the Knicks are winning. All right.
Hey, what's going on, Derek? Just out of curiosity here, I'm sure we're all kind of watching the game. Why would I never really question or agree with Booney's pen management, to be honest. I think that's one of the weakest part of his games. But why would he not bring in Weaver to start the 9th? I just wanted to know if you had like a different take on this than I did. It just made no sense to me why they kept De Los Santos out there instead of getting Weaver in, or even Williams for that matter. Get somebody in that's I don't know, a little bit more high leverage. All right, man.
Yeah, I had the same reaction as you did. I'm like, why in the hell is De Los Santos out there? The only thing I could think of was that, maybe Luke Weaver wasn't quite warm because it was kind of a cold night. Look, I was just as perplexed as you guys are. Also, tonight seems like a great night to pitch my merch, so we're going to take a look at the Martian collection. This is my favorite one. This is the Martian little Martian logo up here. And then this is another good one here. We've got the Martian glasses. This is a fun little design. Of course, he wears the T-shirt that says "Just Be Nice," so we've got that up here. And then we've got his classic 89. I know he wears number 24, so I've got to update that. And this is another Martian logo here. Lots of Jason Dominguez stuff. The poster, I Want to Believe. I have that hanging on my wall. I got this one. This is from when he was in the minor leagues. That's a keeper. It's a keeper. And then, of course, lots of hoodies and stuff like that. And then this one, Not Human, with the original Fun Hat logo. So go check some of that stuff out. NYYDesigns.shop. And hopefully he takes home Rookie of the Year. We got over 1,100 in the chat. Let's get your comments. Cruise Control News says Martian time. Look, I don't think anyone has hyped the Martian more than I have. I've been following this kid since he was 16. And it's good to see him finally, not only in the major leagues, but turning the corner as a major league hitter. We looked at his numbers on the pregame show, but his base running has been elite. His hard hit percentage has been elite. His bat speed is in the top 30% of the league. His walk percentage is in the top 15% of the league. As a fielder, yeah, his range is utter dog shit, but his arm is fantastic. 88th percentile of arm strength. His arm value's above average now, and that's going to hopefully pull up his run value a little bit. But his outs above average are -5 right now. So, he is what he is defensively. Sprint speed in the 83rd percentile. I think defense is the next part of his game. And obviously the power coming right along. 3 home runs a couple of weeks ago. About what? Now, 11 or 12 days ago. And tonight, obviously, his first ever walk-off home run. And Giancarlo says the Martian has landed. Raymond Vellin says Plan B on fire. I saw the Mets won tonight, but I also saw that Soto was down to almost into the 230s with his batting average. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the numbers there. Yeah, he had a tough night. Tough night for poor Juan Soto. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings as they are right now. Yankees now 10 games over 500, 29-19. Blue Jays 5 games back in the division. The Red Sox have fallen to 3rd place, and they have fallen under 500. They're 25-26. Look, the Yankees, if they keep playing well, might create some real distance. I mean, if you can get up 7, 8, 9 games by the All-Star break, you feel really good going into the second half, and you're getting Luis Gil back. You might be able to pick up a trade, make a deal for a third baseman or an extra relief pitcher. And we got some guys rounding into form, right? We got Devin Williams rounding into form. The way Warren has pitched, Carlos Rodon is looking elite again. By the way, we added some Rodon merch today too, which I freaking love. I'll show that off next time he pitches. Tigers up by 5.5 in the Central over the Twins, who had just recently won 13 straight, I think. I don't know if they've lost yet. I haven't been following them that closely. Mariners atop the West at 28-20. Astros creeping above 500 at 25-24. Phillies lead the NL East over the Mets by a game. Mets also 10 games over 500 at 30-20. Cubs leading the NL Central over the Cardinals by 3 games, which is why I don't expect the Cardinals to go ahead and start dealing players, because they're right in it. I don't see them dealing, Brendan Donovan or anybody like that. And the Dodgers, who got a terrific start from Yamamoto the other night, 30-19. That reminds me, this is something I wanted to ask you guys about. So in an upcoming podcast, I want to do a look at some Yankees who were, or not some Yankees, some people who were almost Yankees that weren't, and kind of see how those contracts are playing out. Sort of the path not taken, the road not taken, and just kind of, take a look at how their careers have played out since they were almost a Yankee and weren't. Like somebody we could look at is Corey Seager, who's on the IL for the Rangers. He was somebody the Yankees were linked to. Freddie Freeman, he was somebody the Yankees were linked to. Yamamoto, obviously. There's a lot of those guys that we can look at over the years that almost were a Yankee or were somebody the fan base really wanted. So let me know in the chat who we should highlight, and maybe we'll pick 5 or 10 of them on one of these random off-day podcasts, and we'll go over it. But Caden Mills says, the Martian, I think, is built for the playoffs. I've always felt like he could be clutch because he looks loose. You know, he's got kind of that slow heartbeat, like they say, where he doesn't seem like he's under a lot of pressure. So hopefully you're right. Eric C. says, well, at least Soto got his private suite. Alan called the Martian walk-off. Hey, more power to you. I also had Aaron Judge hitting a home run. I didn't get that one. Frankie says obligatory Bryce Harper reference. That one still hurts. I still think Bryce Harper should have been a Yankee, but and the alternative says if Jason gets hot, what a team. What a team. And then Ian wants to see Manny Machado. You know, I'm kind of glad the Yankees didn't pick up Manny Machado. At the time, I thought, I would sign Harper and Machado if I were Cashman, but Machado is one of those guys that I just don't like his act. I just, the way he, threw the ball at those guys last year, he spikes people. He's just, I don't know. He seems like a dirty player. Doesn't seem like a Yankee to me. Mike D says, I think Goldschmidt and Bellinger will both be good for us in the playoffs. Two reasons why I think that's true. They hit for contact. Goldschmidt, he when he gets to 2 strikes, he'll take what the pitcher gives you. And Bellinger, same way. He lets the ball travel. And, if it's deep in the zone, he'll take it to left field. He's not trying to hit a home run every time. And the other reason is they're veterans. They're both guys who, this is not new. The postseason is not new to them. So I agree. And Bellinger, played in the World Series before. So I agree. These guys could come up big in the playoffs. David Paez says, Judge not clutch sympathizers are awfully quiet tonight. Judge with a big RBI single that's going to get lost in the shuffle because of the walk-off home run. So Alex says Cliff Lee would have been a good one. Yeah, we can take a look at him. He was somebody the Yankees came close to picking up, both via trade and as a free agent. And then ultimately, he's one of the few guys that turned down the Yankees' money to go elsewhere. And, he had a chance to come to the Yankees and chose the Phillies. And then his career kind of fell apart, honestly. And then Word Lifer, with the final word of the night, says, Goldie and Belly are baseball players. That's what we needed. Well, big night for Jason Dominguez in his first walk-off home run of his career. Yankees have won. Now, is that 3 in a row? Have we won 3 in a row? Does that mean we are streaking?
We're going streaking! Yeah!
10 games over 500.
Winning.
We'll see you next.
Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.